170-pound bracket at the Southeast region. And this is a weight class. It's a unique one where it's pretty wide open. You got a lot of different guys. There's you could say maybe you got one clear favorite, but you got a lot of guys that could come out here and win it or make the final. So if there's one where you might scratch your head and might say, wow, like didn't see that guy coming out, like 170 is probably it, in my opinion. I just think it's very balanced. A lot of guys that do a lot of the same things and just consistently win and do a lot of things consistently well. And this is how I see it playing out. Your one seed from out of the East is Gunnar Spain, and he's a senior from the Chamois. He's 32-8. The 2 seed is Shane McAdams. He won the South. He's from Haverford. He's 32-2. The 3 seed is Matt Romanelli, Downingtown East. He's junior. He's 31-3. The 4 seed is out of the North, Alan Alexander from Boyertown. He's a sophomore. He's 22-8. Then on top of that, like you look at other guys that have a chance, like Damian Falcone's enjoyed a nice season. Liam Gray's is really tough. You're looking down, Kevin Salmon has had a nice senior season. Lucas Doyle having some big wins last weekend. He beating Jarrett Nedesick, who for a while held down the number 1 ranking in District 1, or was not 1 or 2 for a good bit of the season. And you got Austin Bowman from Owen Roberts, is a senior, and even Mason Baldwin's got some wins under his belt and is no easy out. So there's some good matches to be had here. Going to be a lot of solid wrestling, and just guys that can just flat out go and scrap. And it's going to make for a fun bracket. This is one, like, again, I know I say I'm excited about all of them. This one just because I just don't know what it is yet. I don't know who the champ is. I think I do. But this one more than a lot, like you can throw a bunch of names in the hat and pick them out, and you probably feel pretty good about having him as your guy. So as we go here, we got Gunnar Spain and Anthony Stevenson from Phoenixville. Phoenixville's lone qualifier this season. Spain gets the win at 170 here to start things off. I got Falcone and Hale. This one was a tough one for me because Hale, he's just a freshman, but he's from that Hale family. They're tough. I got to see him wrestle, and he can go for a freshman, 170 pounds. But I think Falcone's going to be a little bit too much for him and gets the win. But that was one of the better matches in this first round here. Got Liam Gray and Dylan Conlon. Gray, the senior from Academy Park. Conlon, the senior from Garnet Valley. I'm going with Gray on this one. Then you got Robert Glemser from Abington and Alan Alexander from Boyertown. Got Alexander making it through into the quarterfinals. And Matt Romanelli and Kevin Salmon could be a good first round matchup, but Romanelli's just been a buzzsaw over guy, a lot of his opponents this year, and he's real intense. I got to see him wrestle a few times in person this year, and I'm really impressed with what he has to offer. So moving on, we got Lucas Doyle against Jason Lepore. I got Lucas Doyle just because he's hot right now. He's winning matches, and he's wrestling really well. And then talking about some of the matches up top, this one, this match might be the best match in the first round. Austin Bowman and Jarrett Nedesick. They're both pretty like mirrors of each other. Able to scramble, do a lot of things. Really athletic kids that can go, and huge gas tanks. So this one is going to be a real good match. I'm going with Bowman, just for someone that's had a few more been in a few more tough matches this year than Nedesick. And Nedesick was pushed last week, lost to Doyle 11-6. So I'm not sure where Nedesick is right now. Bowman coming off a loss. He's traded I think 2-2 with Alan Alexander this year. And, they've gone back and forth. And then Shane McAdams, beating Mason Baldwin down at the bottom there. As we go into these quarterfinals again, you just have a lot of solid guys that are going to go. So these are some good quarterfinals. Watching Spain and Falcone, I'm going to go with Gunnar Spain for the win here to get into the semis. Gray and Alexander, I'm going Gray to get into the semis. I just think he's going to have a little bit too much for the sophomore from Boyertown. Alexander, he's a little bit up and down, and he has his good days and his bad days, and some days he looks like some days he looks like close to making that level change, being really good, and other days he's not as he doesn't look as dominating, and you just don't know what you're going to get with him just yet, and he's still young, he got a lot of maturing to do, but he's definitely a tremendous talent, and I'm looking forward to seeing mature over the years from that Boyertown program. But I'm going Liam Gray with this match here. Romanelli and Doyle. If Doyle brings it like he did last weekend, it's going to be a pretty good match. But I'm going Romanelli here, and Bowman McAdams. This was one of the tougher ones to predict. I looked at like common opponents, looked at who wrestled who, and schedules, and all the things like I kind of look at. And again, it kind of means nothing in the postseason. I get it, but it's something to when you're grasping at straws to find that difference between winning and losing and trying to predict. You look at all factors, and again, I look at one probably my two biggest factors are who they practice with on a daily basis and who have they wrestled. And I give the nod to Austin Bowman to get to the semifinals. Then we go back up the top here. We got Spain and Gray. Spain, is going to be too much for Gray, and then Romanelli and Bowman. This match is if it does happen, could be pretty fun because Romanelli is not as much of a scrambler as Bowman is, and it would be one of those battles where one wrestler trying to make something happen based out of that, and the other more of a direct by the book, and that'd be Romanelli. But the contrasting styles, I got to go with Romanelli here to get to the final. And Romanelli in Spain, I think it'd be a tremendous battle of two guys who can go, and real physical wrestlers. But I think Romanelli's the better of the two right now. We go down these wrestlebacks, and this is where this one's going to be fun because there's so much talent, equal talent in these wrestlebacks. So you got Stevenson and Hale. I'm going to go with Hale. I'm going to go with the freshman over the senior here just because, again, Hale's wrestled in much tougher competition than Stevenson. It is what it is. I'm not telling you anything that you can figure out on your own. If you go on and look at who Hale wrestled and who Stevenson wrestled, schedules aren't even close to difficulty levels. Hale's downtown West schedule way tougher. Conlon and Glemser, I'm going with Conlon from Garnet Valley. Salmon and Lepore, I'm going Kevin Salmon. Nitosick and Baldwin, I'm going Nitosick. And then Nitosick and Falcone would be a good match in that second round constellation. I'm going Jared Nitosick. Alexander Salmon could be a good match. I think Alexander wins. Conlon Doyle, I'm going Doyle. McAdams and Hale, I'm going McAdams. I'm going with the senior there. I think Doyle beats McAdams just because he's tried and true. Nitosick beats Alexander, and then Nitosick gets revenge on Bowman there and gets to the Consi final. Doyle loses to Gray, so Academy Park gets a qualifier. Nitosick beats Gray for third place, and then Bowman beats Doyle for fifth. So you have your 1 through 5. You have Romanelli as your champ. Gunnar Spain as your runner-up, Jarrett Nitosick from North Penn as your third place guy, Liam Gray from Academy Park as your fourth place, and Austin Bowman fifth place from Owen J. Roberts. There's your 5. But this weight class can go in so many different ways, and there's so many variables and curveballs, whatever you want to call it. Shane McAdams is tough. Alexander's tough. Like I said, he times he looks. It's like really, really tough, hard to beat. Other times he looks a little bit more pedestrian. If he comes with the right mindset, he's gonna be real tough out. He's gonna be tough out regardless, but he could be making some noise, and just Conlon's tough, Salmon's tough, Falcone's tough. I mean, this can go so many different ways. I said you could 8, 9 guys that you can pick names out and think, oh, well, they can make in that top 5. They'll find their way into it, and it's just the way it is. This is just how I see it. It finishing up. So there you have it. On to 182 pounds.